Final 3 questions to grill your prospective managed IT service providers with. We're almost there. You know what? Huge kudos to you. You made it this far, which means you're committed to finding the best fit. Or you missed parts 1, 2, and 3, in which case you can find a link for them up here. In either case, let's get after it. Make sure you stick around to the end though, because I'm going to throw in one extra question that'll really separate the heroes from the zeros. Roll the animation. Question 10 is, will they work with your setup or try to replace everything right out of the gate? This one gets missed a lot. Most businesses already have a few things in place. Maybe it's Microsoft 365, maybe it's Google Workspace, maybe it's something niche for your industry. But if a provider is pushing you to change right at the beginning, it's almost always because it's easier for them. Now, it's not that change is always bad. Sometimes a new tool really does make sense, but the provider has to be able to explain why a switch is worth the cost and the disruption. It can't just be because it's easier for them or it's a standard package. A red flag sounds like we can't really support XYZ, so we're gonna have to move you to ABC. That's not a recommendation, it's an ultimatum. A green flag is let's review what you're using now and see if there's still a right fit. And if it's not, we have a good option that we support all the time. The goal should always be to make your business run better, not to make their lives easier. Question 11 is, do they have a process or are they making it up as they go? This is one of those questions that separates the more established companies from the ones flying by the seat of their pants, and I almost feel bad for including it because we were definitely one of those seat of their pants companies in the past. IT is full of ongoing tasks, patching, backups, software updates, account management, and if there's no process, things will get missed. Ask them how they're going to handle the basics. What does their monthly maintenance routine look like? How do they do onboarding? How do they do offboarding? Do they do regular check-ins or reviews? Where's their documentation? Is it encrypted and protected by multi-factor authentication? You want to work with a company that's just the right size, right? Someone big enough to have the systems and processes in place to support you, but small enough that you can find the right throat to choke when something goes wrong. If a provider stumbles over their answer to this question, it'll be an obvious red flag. But if they come back with some variation on, here's our standard schedule and for reviewing your systems, and here's how we track and report on it, you're good to go. Question 12 comes down to, do they feel like a partner or just another vendor? I've talked about this a lot because it's important, but after all these questions, this is where you have to trust your gut. When you talk to this provider, do they feel like someone who's in it with you, or are they just someone who's managing tickets? The best MSPs in this business, and there are lots of them, consider their clients' needs above their own. They know that if their clients grow, they grow. If their clients succeed, they succeed. A red flag is when you constantly feel like you're being brushed off or talked down to. A green flag is when they communicate clearly, consistently, and without pressure. Good partnerships aren't built in emergencies. They're built collaboratively with you and with your business growth in mind. Now, I promised you an extra question that would really separate the wheat from the chaff, and here it is. What's your staff retention like? I'll tell you, if it's a bad MSP, the staff know it, and they'll run like rats on a sinking ship. We're going to do a video in the coming weeks about how we keep our MSP staff happy and productive, but that's the question that will really trip up a bad MSP. In this ever-changing IT landscape, be adaptive. See you next time.